So after completing the standard goals for the Tales of the Arabian Nights, I thought I'd jump right into doing the wizard goals because they aren't really that difficult. And I was right, I was able just to get them all. Really no time at all. Now if you're new to the Pinball Arcade, it might take a while to do some of these, but once you get used to the table, these goals should be no problem at all. So let's not drag this out any further and get to it. Wizard goal number 1 is to win the Great Camel Race. Now the Great Camel Race is one of the 7 tails in the table. And the table is all about activating each of these tails and completing them in order to earn a gem. To activate a tail, all you have to do is hit the genie while the princess is lit. And the princess is usually lit as long as there's not another tail active. So basically, as long as you're not in a tail, you can activate a tail. But which tail will activate when the genie is hit? Well, if you look near the bottom of the playfield where the flippers are, there are 7 lights that correspond to the 7 tails. Now this indicates which tail will start when the genie is hit. However, by hitting the flippers, the slingshots, the bumpers, whatever is lit to be the next tail will change. So it can be pretty difficult to choose the tail you want. I just don't even look at it, and I basically activate the tails and do them as they come up, because you're not going to repeat the same tail that you've already completed, and eventually the Great Camel Race will become active. So once the tail of the Great Camel Race starts, how do you win the Great Camel Race? Once it becomes active, there are 4 golden symbol targets that become active on the playfield. All you have to do is hit these targets. For each one you hit, you advance a place in the Great Camel Race. Once you get in first place, you'll get the goal. You don't even need to collect the jewel and finish the tail. It'll just automatically give you the goal.
The tale of the Great Camel Race.
Go for the gold symbol. Great shot. Shoot ramp to the left.
Wizard goal number 2 is to collect 60 lamp spins. Now honestly, this is as easy as it sounds. All you have to do is keep spinning the lamp and you'll eventually get 60 spins. Basically, spinning the lamp 180 degrees counts as 1 spin, so really you're only spinning the lamp all the way around 30 times. And that's all there is to it. This is really, I think, the easiest goal of the lot.
Yes!
Wizard goal number 3 is to light the ruby jewel. Now to light the ruby jewel that's worn by the good genie in the middle of the table, you have to do a couple things. The first thing you have to do is to light Make-A-Wish, and this is accomplished just by having the lamp spun 15 times. But you also have to activate both shooting stars. And if you watch the video on the standard goals for this table, one of the goals was to get the ball captured by a shooting star. I kind of explained how to light those shooting stars, but basically there are 3 targets on the left side that are for the left shooting star, and 3 targets that are up near the genie that will activate the right shooting star. Now what I had mistakenly said in that previous video is that you have to hit all 3 of those targets, but that's not true. You could hit any one of them and it'll activate the left shooting star or the right shooting star, depending on which target you hit. And those stay lit for about 10 seconds. So basically you have to have Make-A-Wish lit, and then activate either the right shooting star or the left shooting star, and then activate the other one within 10 seconds, and then the ruby will light. Now this may sound complicated or difficult to do, but honestly, this is something I've never had to try. This is something that always just seems to happen one way or another. And honestly, I never really knew what made that ruby light until I specifically looked it up. So I would say just play the game and eventually it'll happen for you. And to further clarify, it doesn't matter what order you light those lights in, it's just so long as the Make-A-Wish light and both shooting stars are simultaneously lit all at once. That's what activates lighting the ruby.
Seize the power. My ruby.
Wizard goal number 4 is to earn an extra ball. Before I go any further in explaining how you can earn an extra ball, I will mention that the Pinball Arcade will give you an extra ball once you hit 8 million points. However, that does not count towards earning this goal. The reason I'm mentioning this is because in a real arcade environment, by default, by crossing that threshold, or whatever the threshold may be for the score, you would normally earn an extra game, unless the operator specifically set to win an extra ball instead of an extra game. But in the Pinball Arcade, they've set it so you won an extra ball, and that just doesn't count towards earning this goal. So if you're wondering why you've earned an extra ball and you didn't actually get this table goal, that is usually the reason why. But there are plenty of other ways to earn an extra ball in this table, and most of them involve lighting the extra ball light located by the right loop. So how do you light that extra ball light? Well, there's several ways to do that. The first is to collect 6 tiger loops. Now, to collect a tiger loop, it's basically just hitting the left loop or the right loop while the tiger light is lit. I'm not really going to go into how to light the tiger light, but it gets lit often enough when you do things, so just keep going after that, and eventually the extra ball light will light. It lights after you hit 6 times and also 20, but if you've gotten to 20, you've probably already gotten to 6. Another way to light the extra ball light is to collect 4 of the 7 jewels by completing the tails. Now, I've explained how to activate the tails in the first of these wizard goals, so I'm not really going to go into that, but basically as you activate each tail, you can hit the targets that are necessary and then hit the ramp to collect a jewel. Conversely, you could also make a wish by lighting the genie and wishing for a jewel. So as soon as you get 4 jewels, doesn't matter either way, the extra ball light will light. Another way to light the extra ball light is by collecting it randomly in the bazaar. So to activate the bazaar, you basically have to hit a few targets in the field. I'm not really going to point them out, but as you hit these targets, the words bazaar will spell out, and when you enter the bazaar, you'll win a random award. One of those awards is to light the extra ball light. Now, once the extra ball light is lit, all you have to do is hit that right loop and you'll get the extra ball and complete the goal. Now, there are 2 other ways I know of to get an extra ball. And like I said before, when you enter Bazaar, you get a random reward. Well, not only is lighting the extra ball light a reward, but also getting an extra ball straight from the Bazaar is a reward. I'm sure that counts too, but honestly, those happen very rarely, and I wouldn't really bank on collecting it, but you could get lucky and do it. And finally, the last way I know of to get an extra ball involves beating the genie and rescuing the princess, which is actually the next wizard goal, so see that to figure out how to do that. But from what I read, once you beat the genie, a special light will light in both the right and left out lanes. Once those are lit and the ball travels down the left or the right out lane, you will get an extra ball.
Extra ball.
And the last wizard goal for Tales of Arabian Nights is to rescue the princess. Now, rescuing the princess is pretty much the last goal to do in the game, period. So to rescue the princess, you have to initiate a battle with the genie, which you can't do unless you collect the 7 jewels. Now, to collect the 7 jewels, you have to either complete all the tails, or you could just basically wish for all the jewels. So to complete the tails, it's pretty much how I described it earlier. You hit the genie to activate a tail, you hit whatever targets you need to hit, and then you hit the ramp to collect the jewel. Otherwise, you can keep just spinning the lamp to activate Make-A-Wish, hitting the Make-A-Wish target, and then just wishing for a jewel. But either way, as soon as you've collected all 7, you can initiate the battle with the genie by just hitting the genie. Once the battle with the genie starts, he'll start attacking you by summoning skeletons. So on the playfield, there are the golden symbols, and you basically have to hit the golden symbols to destroy the skeletons. There are 8 skeletons in total, and you can defeat them by hitting whichever of these golden symbols is lit. Now, if you happen to lose the ball while you're fighting the skeletons, that's okay as long as you have another ball after that, and you can continue right where you left off. Now the 8th and final skeleton will always require you to hit either the left loop or the right loop. And at this point your battle with the skeletons is over, and you'll activate the second phase of the battle with the genie by initiating a tug-of-war for the princess. And if you look at the dot matrix display, you'll see that the genie's on the left side and you're on the right side, and the princess is initially in the middle. What happens in this phase is a 4-ball multi-ball, and you basically don't have to worry about draining, but what you do have to do is you have to manually plunge the ball for each ball that comes into play. So there will be 4 balls in the field. If you lose a ball, it'll come back, but you have to manually plunge it. So that's the only thing you really have to remember. But as you make the shots, which is basically any of the golden symbol shots and also hitting the genie, that basically pulls the princess towards your side of the field. Conversely, if you don't really hit any of the targets, the genie will just consistently pull the princess to his side. Now this mode will just go on forever until either you or the genie has pulled the princess all the way to your side. Now honestly, I have never lost to the genie. I've come really close. In fact, in the gameplay that I've captured here, I came close to losing, and I don't know what happened. But I can honestly say that I've never lost to the genie. But as soon as you consistently start making these shots and the princess in the bottle comes closer and closer to you, as soon as it gets close enough to you, you'll win and you'll get this wizard goal. I know this may sound really complicated, and if you're not really familiar with the table, it can seem very difficult to even collect the jewels necessary to battle the genie. But as you get more and more familiar with this table, it's just something you could do on a pretty much regular basis. It's not too difficult to collect all the jewels with a combination of doing the tails and just always wishing for a jewel. It seems to happen rather quickly. And you know what? I'm not the greatest at this game either, and there's been instances where I've been able to fight the genie at least 2 or 3 times in a single game. And that's all there is for Tales of the Arabian Nights. See y'all next time. Bye.
Shoot the genie. You're my only hope. Let me out of here. Shoot the golden symbols.
You will never get her.
Shoot the golden symbols. Seize the power. Amazing. Battle the skeletons. Hurry! You big blue slave.
I cannot be defeated.
Battle the skeletons. Time is running out. Shoot the golden symbol. Your scimitar is ready. Banish the evil. Let me out of here. Smash the bottle. Rescue me from the bottle.
I will never.
Don't quit now. Shoot the golden symbols. Seize the power. Rescue me from the bottom.